Today I'm going to break down the science of rep ranges, what works best for strength, hypertrophy, and endurance, and how you can incorporate these different types of rep ranges to reach your goals and get further in the gym. A lot of people assume there's just a magic number for reps. Like on a squat, you do 3 no matter what. On a bench press, you do 5. And on deadlift, say you do 4. But the truth is, different ranges serve different purposes. So even though it might seem like common knowledge, real studies today, not just gym bro talk, prove that it's more beneficial than even I thought. So rep ranges are the number of times you perform a movement in a set before resting. But what does this mean for muscle growth? We generally divide them into 3 categories: low reps, moderate reps, and high reps. Low reps are going to be your best for strength and power, and that's usually going to be between 1 and 5 complete full repetitions. Your moderate reps are going to be the sweet spot for muscle hypertrophy or growth, which I talked about in a previous video, and that's usually what most people strive to get. And then there's high reps, which is for muscular endurance, something like push-ups, if you're super strong, pull-ups potentially, body weight stuff, so stuff in that category. But even that can lead to muscle growth because, as I said before, anything between that 1 to 50 rep range will grow muscle. I mean, not 1 to 50, 3 to 50 rep range. So what does science say about rep ranges? One of the most well-known studies on rep ranges is by Schoenfeld in 2016. The study compared high load, heavy weight, low reps, which is relative, moderate load, which is moderate weight, medium reps, and then they briefly mentioned high reps. So the bar graph showed heavy reps, 1 to 5 reps, are superior for maximum strength gains. So something like your barbell bench press, barbell squat, or deadlift. And moderate weights, 6 to 12 reps, can rate the most growth, hypertrophy. And then higher reps, 15 plus, are effective for muscular endurance, but not as much for size and strength, which is obvious, and now it's scientifically proven. So some common mistakes to avoid with rep ranges are, one of the biggest ones is not training close enough to failure. So no matter what your rep range is, you need to push close to your limit of force adaptation. So what this means is, even if you're doing 3 reps, 5 reps, 12 reps, 20 reps, you need to be either 1 to 2 reps before failure or at failure. I like going 1 to 2 reps in reserve. Now, depending on what I'm doing, is sometimes I will go beyond that, and sometimes I will even go to partial failure. And another mistake is thinking 1 is just enough, like doing the same hypertrophy 8 to 12 reps on everything. Now, that isn't okay in some cases, but strength, muscle growth, and endurance all complement each other in one way or another. And the last mistake I see most often is ignoring progressive overload. Now, most people who are intermediate or above, or even most beginners know this, but if you're not increasing your weight, reps, or intensity over time, you're not going to progress no matter how many times you go to the gym. So now you might be asking, how do you apply this to yourself? So how do you structure your training with this information? So if your goal is strength, say you're trying to get really strong on the barbell bench press, squat, deadlift, etc., you do 1 to 5 reps per set, around 80 to 85% to 100% of your 1 rep max. So you should be pushing heavy weight as much as you can, and 3 to 5 minutes of rest. Now this can be interchangeable with how fast you recover. For muscle growth, 6 to 12 is a sweet spot at about 65 to 80% of your 1 rep max, with 30 to 90 seconds of rest is ideal. But if you do not recover fast, like me, I do not recover fast between sets, so I take just a little bit longer, up to 2 minutes most of the time. If you want endurance, you're looking at 15 reps with low rate and short rest periods. So you do 20 reps, take a 30-second break, then hit it again. But remember, periodizing your rep ranges, meaning changing them over time, can prevent plateaus. So if you do the same rep range throughout your entire program, there's a chance, especially without a deload, which I mentioned last time, you can plateau easily, but there are ways around it. So places where I would personally use these rep ranges that you can consider including in your own training is when I'm squatting. I prefer heavy reps, or heavy weight and low reps. So I'll do 3 to 5. If I'm bench pressing, it's the same thing. And I don't deadlift personally, but if I'm doing like a barbell row or something, I will stay on the lower end. But just to make sure I'm getting enough hypertrophy, I will complement those 1, maybe 2 heavy sets with a accessory work. Like if I'm squatting, I will do pause squat right after. So I'll do 2 sets of heavy squat and then 3 sets of pause squat with a lower weight and higher reps, more to like 8 reps. And then if I'm benching, I will do my 1 set heavy set of bench, my top set, and then I'll bump down to a Larson press and do 2 to 3 sets of that at a lower weight where I can manage. And that has really kept me out of plateaus, especially deloading and making sure I'm getting my nutrients and sleep. That's really kept me out of the hole. So, to conclude, there is no best rep range. Strength, hypertrophy, and endurance all have their place and time. Don't just stick with one because somebody told you to, but mix it up based on what you want to achieve. What rep range do you use the most? Drop it below. Like the video, subscribe for more evidence-based training and content. Peace.